Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna wait like 2-3 minutes, get some people on here, and then we're gonna have a really good stream. I'm gonna do this every day till the end of the year, just so people can learn a lot about this indicator. Now, I understand that it's near the end of the year, and not a lot of people are gonna be tuning in because, well, it's the holiday season. But I figured I would do it anyway, so I may as well do it live, even if there's not a lot of people here. So I'm just gonna give it a few minutes, let some people log in, and then we'll go from there. I'm finally replacing this camera at the front. It's very unappealing. Yeah, so I'll just give it a little bit of time, everybody. Give it like 1, 2, 3 minutes, and then we're gonna start. I'll be back. I'm just gonna grab some water. I'll be back in a minute here. Yeah! Did I scare you guys? Okay, let's start. Let's do this. It's gonna be a really good stream. If you pay attention every single day, you will be able to learn this method of technical analysis. I'm just checking my windows. Oh, this is I keep saying that the camera makes me look fat, then I realize I just am fat from living in Turkey. But you know what? I've been losing a lot of weight. Been getting back, sleeping normally. So I'm really looking forward to how the 2024 year is going to unfold. Okay, so we're gonna do a Bitcoin technical analysis really quickly. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And then we're gonna eventually talk about how to scan for a quick coin to trade, okay? And we're gonna be able to isolate it down probably very, very quickly. So every day when you log on, oh, I'm tired. I was running up and down the house before I came here just now. So every day, make sure you guys are, or every week at least, make sure you're updating your major watch list on sandwich.finance. And then the first thing you want to do is just get an idea of how Bitcoin is currently trending. You don't need to do a full head-on technical analysis, but it's good to have a general idea of how Bitcoin is currently trending right now. And what we can see is that it double or triple topped even for now. We don't know if this is going to make an ascending triangle or not. I mean, one would argue, okay, there's so many different ways to draw a trend line. That's why it's always subjective. Like, are we in a range right now? Okay, are we in a range? Yeah, that could be a range. Or are we in perhaps ascending type of triangle, right? One could argue either way. So trend lines are very subjective, therefore use discretion. So the way that I see it right now on a higher time frame is Bitcoin has finally made an extremely lower high on RSI. You can see that right there on the 2-day chart. Right? Oh, you guys don't see anything. Here you go. Hold on. I'm gonna switch it. There we go. So this is one way of drawing it. Okay, I apologize about that, guys. Now you see clearly. Yeah, nobody even let me know of that. Okay, so this was one way of drawing it, where it's channeling, and another way would be it's an ascending triangle. Which one's right? Because it's very subjective, use a lot of discretion. Now what we're seeing on the 2-day chart is finally massive bearish divergence. This is pretty big to me, okay? And we're also seeing the crossovers come to the downside on basically every time frame. We're seeing Bitcoin bearish right now. Like the 1 hour finally crossed to the negative side. The 4 hours crossing to the negative side. It was really bullish up until like, okay, well, around this point here and here. On the 4-day, we are slightly trending to the downside. If you just take a look at price action right now, you see this type of doji here, right? It's kind of like an evening star candle. And then you see this hanging man with kind of another hanging man slash hammer. 2 in a row where the bears are pressuring to push to the downside, but the bulls ended up recovering during this 4-day period. And then we get a candle like this, and then now like this, where it looks like it's trying to push to the downside. And the volume is slowly declining as well. Let's just go to CoinMarketCap and confirm that. So you guys can go to CoinMarketCap here, go to Bitcoin, and where is it? So go to 24-hour volume here. Where is it? They keep changing it, and I keep forgetting where they put it. Can anybody remind me? Historical data. There it is. So take a look at the volume. You can see that over the past 3 days, it definitely has been declining. So that's not a good sign for Bitcoin trying to break above that 44K region right now. I mean, worst case scenario, we're going to get back to down to 37K and then shoot for the 48K region. In fact, in my previous video, I was talking a lot about these liquidation heat maps. And if we broke above 45K, a lot of people would get liquidated if they were in a short position, which would add fuel to the rally to hit that 48K region. Whereas on the downside, right around the 38K, that's where a lot of longs would get liquidated, and then we would push further. But right now, it's kind of a sideways movement. There's not much to say except for, hey, we've been sideways since, for 6 days now, ranging 5%. But what we do know in the past few hours is that Bitcoin ended up dropping. So a lot of coins were affected in the market as well. So just to summarize, Bitcoin looks pretty bearish to me, okay? Looks pretty bearish, but of course, Bitcoin has a history of always recovering much better than we can anticipate. And as we know in crypto, anything can happen anytime. So making a prediction is not always going to make you profitable. It's better to be aware of the changes that could happen and make a reaction rather than make a prediction, in my opinion. For example, as a day trader, I don't always make a prediction and then keep my bias really firm. What I do instead is whatever happens, I plan for those events and then I will react accordingly. This way, if something does happen, you're not going to be like, oh crap, I'm super surprised. And then now you're a deer stuck in the headlights. Like, how many of you guys have been in a trade, honestly? You were like long, for example. You were really all in and you were leveraged, which means if you're leveraged, you're adding size to your position, which means you're really sure of the position that you're taking. So if you're sure of that position and you're adding size, well, you're heavily biased. But if you're too heavily biased, you might not be able to exit that position. So you're in a long, but it ends up dropping instead. And you should take your loss. But because you're so invested in your position with your leverage, okay, with going long, with your bias, that you literally do nothing. And you're just like a deer stuck in the headlights. Okay, a deer in the headlights just standing there frozen. And you're just like waiting there and hoping, or you're not really admitting it yet, or acknowledging that you're in a loss. And then all of a sudden, boom, you get liquidated. You guys would be lying if you said it hasn't happened to you before, because it's happened to me like 7 years ago when I first, like those were the last times where I got liquidated. It's never happened ever since, because you develop these rules. And one of the main things that I've learned is how to react to things that happen and how to plan ahead, especially because if you don't plan ahead, these types of situations are going to happen more and more. So I'm going to introduce to you guys this indicator. It's called basically the Chandelier exit indicator, Philakone style, okay? So what this indicator does is it has 3 categories or 3 columns, and I'm gonna load it up right now. So, and it's got many different customizability options as well. So it's got a dashboard, okay? So this dashboard here is going to, let me move it to the top or the middle right. There, that's better. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller so you can customize the size, etc. as well. Notice that there's 3 columns. trend, SLR, which stands for stop loss range, and the range. So you can customize all of these, okay? So you see here, it's the trend. See, here's the SLR. See, here's the range. The range can be customized by the hour or by the minute or by the week. So if, for example, I'm looking at a 4-day period, okay? I'm looking at a 4-day period. You can put 4 days, or you can put 96 hours. Same thing, right? So it's really up to you which one you want to do, but I'm just letting you know you can choose the period, okay? Or the trend period. So what this does, after that, I'm going to delete this. Let me just get my dashed lines on here. Here we go. Okay. So now you're going to see this dashed line that I have. I'll make it blue. I like blue better. You don't have to have that on there, but you can if you want to. Like, you can take it off with this check mark there, okay? So this took a lot of customization for me to get it right. And also, notice how there's 2 rows. 1 row there, 1 row there. One's red, and this row would go green. Because I've designed it so that it can track coins in a bull market and in a bear market. So it doesn't matter what market you're trading in. This will help you find coins to trade 100%. You can do it manually, like no problem. You can just use the Chandelier exit indicator alone, but that'll take you a lot more time. Like, this was designed to cut down my time of finding a coin by over 80%. And sometimes half of the battle every day is literally finding that gem, right? You're like logging on, you don't know what coins to trade. For example, sometimes all of these coins could be only moving like 10% maximum. So because it's moving 10% maximum, the pickings are slim. So you have to have another method of scanning for a coin to trade using volatility. So this indicator, it strongly requires you to have a great knowledge on, first of all, the ATR, average true range. It's not an amateur indicator in any way at all. You also need to be very aware of how to use the Chandelier exit indicator as well, okay? So then the second column here is SLR, refers to the stop loss range, okay? So I can specify that. If I put a number such as 10 on here, if the difference in price between the current price and the Chandelier exit indicator support is less than my specified range, then it will light up green or red, depending on if it's bullish or bearish. Okay, does that make sense? That might have been a little bit complicated to say. Let me say it again, okay? Or let me explain it rather. So just as an example, whoa, Sol's amazing right now, by the way, okay? So if I choose SLR 10, well, let's say I choose an SLR like 5, okay? So then if the price between where the current price is right now and the Chandelier exit indicator is lower than my specified price in the settings, then this right here will light up green, okay? And then the last column is the range. What the range does is this, okay? It takes the price. So first of all, I'll explain what it is. Yeah, it takes the price of the open, okay, where the opening price is here. So if I set my range for 4 days, it will tell me the exact price movement from when the 4-day opened to where the current price is now. Just notice how accurate it is. It says 21.23, but the range also says the same thing. It's giving me information without having to actually check it myself, which is going to help a lot. And then this range percentage, what this is let's say I set it for 10%, okay? Or let's say I set it for 30%. 30% is good. If I set it for 30%, this column will only light up green if the price movement from the open to the current price now on the specified trend the period is greater than 30%. Does that make sense? So this needs to be greater than 30%. Or if I change it to 20%, then it's going to tell me that, boom, these are matching some major criteria to trade. So just as an example, since we're on Sol right now, okay? Let's say I set Sol to something like this. Let's just say I'm randomly hunting a coin. And this indicator is also going to require you to be creative. I'm sorry to say this, but if you're not a creative person that can think outside of the box, and if you do not understand time frames, You will never be able to use this indicator because there's a lot of people out there that are like, hey, which time frame is the best one to trade? There's no such thing as the best time frame, man, because all time frames tell a different story, and we need to understand how they fit in together and how a small time frame could cause a ripple effect to the higher time frame, right? So for example, if we're super bullish, like we are mother effing bullish to the moon, where it's making coins that are parabolic, okay? Right? They're all bullish on every time frame you can imagine up to the daily, right? And then all of a sudden, the 1 minute time frame starts to get bearish, right? And then a major drop occurs. Like we're talking like a 20% drop. You guys have all seen those coins that go up and then boom, straight V down. Then the 1 minute time frame, it shows bearishness. And then all of a sudden the 5 minute, if the 1 minute shows bearishness long enough, the 5 minutes starts to show bearishness. And then if the 5 minute time frame is bearish long enough, the 30 minute shows bearishness. And then the 2 hour and then the 4 hour. Do you see what I mean by the rippling effects? So small time frames, they can cascade over to the higher time frames. And we need to understand that when it comes to volatility movements. Okay. So let's just say you're scanning for a coin right now randomly. You're like, I want to look for a coin. Like look at Sol, for example. You see Sol, what it says here? Minus 5.89%, right? You guys agree with me? So if you're scanning for volatility using the crypto screener, you're not going to be brought to the attention of Sol, right? Because why would you look at Sol randomly when it says minus 6%? How could this coin be brought to your attention? Okay, that's an important question to ask. Out of the major watch list of 241 coins on Binance or whatever exchange you're on, how do you find these coins to trade? How do you quickly scan the market without having to do a TA on each coin? Just imagine for a moment that you spent 1 minute doing a TA on each coin, and there's 240 coins. That's going to take you 4 hours just to do a TA on each coin. And is that even possible? Not really. You're going to spend more than a minute, right? If you did it on every coin, like a decent, half decent TA, it'd probably take you 3 minutes. If you spent 3 minutes on each coin, right? 3 times 241, divide that by 60. You'd literally be spending 12 hours just doing TA. So there needs to be a method that's efficient to find a coin. And after 9 years of being in the market, I will bet people that there's not a more efficient way than this from what I have seen. Because it's going to quickly identify for you with these columns lighting up green. It's also going to quickly tell you if something is volatile and trending bullishly or bearishly. So, for example, if I wanted to set something, right, where I wanted to be creative and be like, all right, over a 7-day period, I'm looking for something that is close to the Chandelier exit within 5%. And this guy needs to be ranging more than, let's just say, 25%, 30%. Okay, we're going to be strict because we want the maximum volatility, right? Maximum volatility. And by the way, you can't count on the crypto screener. And the reason you can't count on that is because all of these reset after a week, right? So if you use the weekly right here, so this weekly, what day is it today? Today is Tuesday, okay? So when does the weekly reset? The weekly candle resets, well, for my time, it's Monday at 3 in the morning. Where I was in Canada, it was 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening. So this weekly right here that you're looking at, it actually only reflects like 2 days or like a little bit more than a day, right? So that sucks too. You can't count on it. If you look at the 4 hour and you're like, okay, which coin's trending for 4 hours bullishly? Well, keep in mind that these 4 hour changes, it's not actually exactly 4 hours ago. What it refers to is the last time the candle closed. So you got to be aware of that. So you got to go to the 4 hour and manually be like, okay, I get it. This now within, since 3 hours, right? The 3 hours left. So this 4 hour is actually only been, what this coin has moved 12 hour or 12% in 1 hour, right? You have to do the math yourself. So it's unreliable as well. You know what I mean? So now that I've set my parameter for 7 days, 5% close to the average true range, the Chandelier exit, and also 40%, maybe 40% is too high. Let's go 25, okay? So I want to find something on a 2-hour time frame that is really close. And the reason I want to do this is because, well, I want to look for something that's been trending bullishly above the Chandelier exit indicator for over 7 days on a specific time frame. And this has clearly been trending really nicely. So what this means is because it's close to here. Oh, by the way, if you guys notice, right, when I was calling out, what coin was it yesterday? I think it was Say. Yeah, it was Say coin when I did this exact same video, right, yesterday. Okay, I said that Say was going to move, or I think it was on New Year's Eve. I said Say was really close to the 4-hour, and there's a good opportunity to long it. And that's exactly what happened. It ended up bouncing to the upside heavily. So if you look at Sol, for example, on a 2-hour, right, we have to be able to differentiate between... I'm banned on CoinMarket. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, I don't have time to... I don't know what you're talking about being banned on CoinMarketCap. But anyway, so you got to know which time frame to look at. Like, for example, on a 1-hour time frame, okay, if you're looking 7 days on a 1-hour time frame, does it light up green? Nope, nothing lights up green, okay? Nothing here at all. See what I mean? So if you go to a 2-hour, right, it definitely lights up here. Does that make sense? Okay, hold on. That was weird. This should still light up green. Something odd is going on. Oh, I think the range only lights up green if the trend is also green itself as well, okay? So, yeah, okay, so on the 2-hour, you want to go to that time frame because this is where it's trending bullishly. So the reason why you want to set your SLR to maybe 2 or 3% is because the difference between here, the price right now, and also the difference in your stop loss, which is slightly below the Chandelier exit, okay? So it requires knowledge, once again, of the ATR, right? You have to understand what this green line measures, and that measures the volatility. So if the volatility changes, this will fall below the green line and start to be red. That means that you probably want to get out of the trade. That's why it's called Chandelier exit indicator. And by the way, guys, this indicator is an invite-only indicator, and it is only available to the people that are in the emergency bull market survival guide. I'm just being clear about that. I spent a lot of time and a lot of money developing this indicator of mine, and I think it's worth it's worth it, in my opinion. But right now, there's a Christmas special till the end of the year. You guys will get my bull market survival guide course. You will get a lifetime Discord membership to my private trading group, and you'll get access to this indicator as well. Just DM me. It'll be worth your while, especially if you're a serious trader that really wants to take it to the next level. I know for a fact that I've got a lot of value to offer you, and I will probably be the #1 person that most people will want to trade with in the bull market. So trust me, guys, DM me. So you see the difference here now, okay? Slightly below. Your stop loss would only be about 3.5%, right? Whereas what would happen if the price was all the way up there? If the price was up there, your stop loss would be like 7 to 8%. So you don't want this kind of trade where the price difference is huge. That's why you set your SLR to a really low number. So if all 3 of these columns are lighting up, okay, so this is what you do. This is so easy. You guys are really going to understand how to do it easily. And imagine spending like a minute on each coin. It would still take 4 hours, right? But this is what you do instead. You set the parameters, okay? You go to the 2-hour, okay? And you're basically waiting for all 3. First of all, you can do it in multiple ways. You can look for coins that are only trending above the 2-hour, above the 2-hour over 7 days, or you can look for ones that are trending above that 2-hour Chandelier exit over 7 days and something really close. Does that make sense? So then you would build a watch list of two different categories. One would be trending just above the 2-hour over 7 days, and the second one would be a higher priority one, where it would be trending above the 2-hour over 7 days, and it's within the SLR range, right? So if you just for example, I'm just going to go backwards, okay? So you would just zoom out a little bit in your chart, okay? Zoom out a little bit just so you have a good view. So every time it's going to start right here. See that? The blue line. So it's going to scan for the blue line and forward for something that's going to be green, right? This one is close to the SLR, but it doesn't meet the criteria of, it doesn't, like, once again, spring KSE, you're saying for the 4 hour. That's why, like, I'm trying to explain to people that it doesn't have to be the 4 hour, right? You have to be creative and you have to understand the importance of time frames. I was just using 4 hour time frames before, but now I'm giving you a different example of maybe using it on a 2 hour, right? So you don't have to use it only on a specific time frame. You can vary it and you can vary the different search parameters. That's why I also mentioned you have to be slightly creative with this indicator, right? So for example, now I'm just going to put my mouse, click on the first coin, and then just keep going down. And I don't even care about the chart. All that I'm looking for is perhaps this trend right here to light up green, okay? Let's see how quickly we can look for something. Hold on, I'm going to read this question. But you were no green lights at lower time frame for salt. Exactly. On the lower time frames, they were not bullish. And that's why I mentioned it takes a lot of knowledge about ATR, right? You got to understand how to use ATR and how to use Chandelier exit indicator. That's why I also mentioned that this is not a basic indicator. It's not for people who don't have understandings of previous things. So you really need to do some research and understand the mechanics of Chandelier exit indicator and what these green and red lines refer to and why they change on multiple time frames, right? So we're going to stick to a 2 hour for this general case. Boom. We found a coin that is perfect right away. So I'm going to add it to a purple watch list, okay? Let's see how fast we can find a bunch more. So we don't even care. Just imagine how fast this is going. This is like maybe 2-3 seconds a coin, right? That's it. You can do 200 coins instantly. Next, like not instantly, but in about 5 minutes. So the next project, so this one's pretty good too. Okay, this one here is both green, and then we're gonna sort through it later. The next updated version of this indicator is going to actually scan the entire market without me having to manually do it. That is going to be the next level indicator, that it's going to generate a list for me that I can import to here. So I'll be able to generate a list and then import it literally right away to TradingView. And that's going to, can you just imagine how much time that's going to save? So I'm going through the coins, right? So I see Unfi. Okay, I'm just going to add them to my purple list. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to explain how we sort it later. And then there's TU. Okay, let's just keep going. Look for green. Okay, look for green. So there's some coins that are only 1 green, but not 2 green, right? Maybe we'll find a coin where there's all 3 hits. Okay, if we found a coin where it hit all 3 of them, that'd be great. STG is a pretty good coin right now to take a look at too, right? This coin, Sol, boom, all 3 of them light up green. So if you, for example, started to scan and you got some coins in your list, like let's get a few more on there, okay? Let's just get, so there's SLP. So this one here is really freaking bullish, okay? So this one I'm going to add it to my list anyways, even if the SLR is not green. You guys should DM me if you are curious about pricing and everything. I'd rather not discuss it here. I'd rather save the time to do the analysis and explain this. So let's just get like 2 or 3 more coins. Whoops, this one here, Rose. I think I missed one. RVN. Okay. RVN. Okay, let's just do like 2 more. Let's try to find 2 more. I can do this a lot faster when I'm alone. Okay, there's 1 more. And let's try to find one last one. And then there's, what coin is this? RA. Okay, Qtum. Okay, so now I go to my purple list, just as an example. Yeah, you're right. Liquidity is not all equal, of course. So that's another completely different topic. Okay, completely. And as a day trader, Like, yeah, you care about volume and liquidity. Just make sure that it's got enough volume and liquidity so that there's not massive slippage. And that's why you should account for position sizing. But that's an entirely different topic, right? Like, position sizing is a really delicate topic because, just for example, like last year, beginning of this year mainly, I was trading like $1.4 million like in January, February, March, and April. I was pretty big size, so I had to be very selective of the coins that I was trading. I can't just trade like a $30 million volume 24-hour coin with $1 million. I would get completely wrecked in the market because of slippage. Like, for example, yesterday I was trading Sol. I was trading a $155,000 position in that trade I took, and I just got like, I think 1% scalp or something, or 1.25. Even trading Sol, like even though it had like $4 billion, like I only made like $1,900, but even though it had a $4 billion profit, I was market executing $155,000 to buy and to sell. So it's still, I still had slippage, right? So you have to be very delicate when it comes to the liquidity because you really don't want to deal with that type of slippage. Like last year was my best year I had. I traded $276 million in volume with $82,000 of fees. This year I won't be able to find out because my Canadian Binance account no longer exists because they closed down in Canada, right? And then I had to switch over to my wife's Turkish account. So definitely be always aware of the liquidity and the volume. And that's important. So now that we've have this list, and I just went through a few, right? We've got this list. We're going to now go through them and look for coins where both of them, this column here, this list, it shows all the coins that are only trending above the 2-hour CE. But now we're going to look for coins where it also matches the SLR as well. And boom, we found one, ZIL, okay? Let's just go through it really, really fast. Boom, we found another one, WAX, okay? Now, I'm not saying we found another one that they're all going to guarantee to bounce. Wow, these are actually a lot of them here. Oh, I don't know why TU is on there. Accident, Sol, high priority. It's pretty awesome. So SLP as well, okay? So they're all fitting within that stop loss range of mine. So it's not going to guarantee that it bounces. You need to remember that at the 2-hour Chandelier exit indicator support. Okay, it doesn't guarantee anything. All that it's saying is, for example, on Sol, what this chart is saying is that the volatility has been maintained for at least 7 days on the 2-hour Chandelier exit indicator. The ATR has held true. So the reason why we bring it to our attention is because we ask ourselves, will it keep holding true? Right? Will it keep holding true, and will it continue to the upside? Right? That's what we're asking ourselves, really. And if it does continue to the upside, are we able to capitalize on a long position if it bounces and the volatility is maintained? So this is how this indicator is used in a very simple way for now. But there's many, many different applications. And once again, it's going to require you to be extremely creative. So now that I have this list, I've got literally like how many coins? 1, 2, like 12 coins roughly. Okay, 12 coins that are all meeting the criteria of, with it's bullish, first of all, above the 7-day, okay, over 7 days in the 2-hour CE, and 2-hour time frame, and it's close to the SLR. It's close to the green line. So out of these ones, do I want to take a chance and long on anything? Maybe. Like, just to give you an example, called a really good one. Remember, I made $12,000 on this trade, or was it 9? It was 9 or 12. I can't remember. It was on Unfi. It was a while back. Okay. Where was it, guys? I can't remember, man. Or was it Uni? Just give me a second, sorry. I can't remember. I honestly could not remember which coin it was. But it was a coin where it was trending really long on a specific Chandelier exit indicator. Okay? And then it finally broke to the upside because it was trending below it for such a long time. So it's a good way to, for example, hold on, I'm looking here. Okay, I'm not going to get obsessed by looking for it, okay, guys? So it was trending green for a long time sideways. Kind of like, just like this right now. Just like this, okay? So it's trending for a period. And then the question is it going to keep trending with this type of volatility? And if it does, will we be able to catch a breakout on it? So these are a lot of the questions that you want to be asking yourself. So now that we've isolated down to multiple coins, the next step would be to isolate it further. So you think of it like a funnel system. A funnel system is like where you have a bunch of different coins, you know, and then you take the best ones and you throw it into a box, and then, or a funnel, and then you take the best ones of those coins that are at the top of the funnel, and it moves down further, and then you filter it even more. So the goal is to filter to the coin down to the best possible picks, because that's what it comes down to. Choosing the right coins to trade. Because you can't just go to like a random coin and be like, okay, I'll randomly choose this coin today. It's not going to work like that, right? You have to have the skill to consistently choose the best coins to trade. Because oftentimes, the best coins to trade will have the least amount of risk and the most amount of possibility to profit. So that's what it's going to come down to. That you're going to do a technical analysis on each of these coins, and you can break down the criteria yourself as well. Right? You have to be able to, once again, I always say this, like you have to be creative. You have to be able to define parameters yourself. Like for example, Sol would be the #1 coin to trade because it has moved 50% in the past 7 days alone. Okay. So you want to trade the ones that have massive volatility. Okay. You don't want to trade the ones like, for example, even though Wax, okay, Wax is like, both of these are green, the range is only like maybe 6.51, right? So it's not really the best, but you can say the other way around where the range is not great yet, but maybe it's going to bounce on the 2 hour and then it's going to rally hard. So you have to take a look at it from both perspectives and be creative as well. So for example, Waves, right? It's hitting it very, very soon. Again, VET is only 10%. So are any of these have major volatility? So you can look through it, right? You can see and look for the ones that have like 20, 30, 40%. And not any of these really have massive volatility. But one that does have a lot of volatility is SKL, right? So it tells you that it's been bullish for a long period of time. It's moved 35%. So it should be brought to your attention. So maybe you can zoom in now to a smaller time frame, and then you can look for a continuation pattern and continue to trade this coin. And then this is just on a 2 hour. So if it's really volatile, what you're going to do is you might change your parameter. Okay, you might change your parameter to now day trading parameters rather than a little bit of a longer period. So let's say now my day trading parameter is going to be different. Before, on a longer time frame, I was looking at 7 days. I was looking at 5% SLR. I was looking at a range of about 12% or 25%. So maybe now I'm going to change it to something different, like 12 hours, okay? And the SLR doesn't really matter too much. I just want to find something that's trending bullishly that could break out. So if I go to, for example, let's just set this for 10. So now my parameter is set to a 12-hour period, and I'm looking for a stop loss range of 5%. If that's even possible, it doesn't matter that much. And I'm looking for something ranging over 10%. And this is when it'll light up green. But it doesn't matter if the SLR lights up green or not, because I'm more so focused on now trying to find a coin that's trending on the 15-minute chart over 12 hours bullishly, okay? So now you can see that it's not really that much data, right? It's only a few bars. But now what I can do is I can go to my main watch list again, okay? Like literally go to the main watch list, and now you're gonna go through every coin and look for a column where it's gonna light up all green right there, okay? Just look for it every time. You're just gonna keep going really fast, okay? When you do this by yourself, it's gonna help you find coins extremely fast. Let's just see if any coins today are trending over 12 hours. That's green. Let's just have a look. If that coin is, you should be brought to it and you should focus on trading it because it is showing you that it's the most volatile coin of that day, okay? So we can do it for a while. You know, I don't want to go through 200 coins with you guys, even though it's taking like about a second for each one. it's still, I don't want you guys to wait, right? So let's just, for example, we get to, no, I'm gonna do it. Too bad, guys. We're gonna do it until we find one at least. So maybe some days you are out of luck because it's just too late. You came to the party too late and it was already trending for a period of time, and now it's just too late for you. Here's one, okay? But the thing about this guy is it has no range, okay? So even though it meets their criteria, the range is really horrible. Within those 12 hours, it's only moved 1.33%. So that might not be the best coin to be looking at. But if you wanted, you could, when it gets really, really close to the green line, you can set your stop loss slightly below it and try to attempt a scalp, right? So that's an option that you could do as well. So let's just keep going. Let's look for one decent coin to trade today, if that's even possible. So notice on the bearish side, it actually shows me on the bearish side as well. See right there? So it's showing me that the bearish side is lighting up. So maybe if it got really close to here in a bear market or after a big drop, I might want to enter a short position instead of a long, right? Because now the chandelier exit is holding true on the bearish side. So you could just imagine how many applications there are. So this was brought to my attention immediately just because of this indicator. So we can keep going. I don't think there's a lot of options today. I've already gone through like 30, 40 coins. So there's another bearish option. It's been trending down here for like, how long already? For 4 or 5%. So there's an opportunity to scalp it. But in the bull market, you're not going to be hunting for bearish coins, guys. Like, just make sure you understand that. You do not want to be shorting. Like, you could short in the bull market, but the chances of you being very successful if it's parabolic is not good. So here, like, there's another coin that's both lighting up green, but the range is little, right? But you could try to long it when it gets close if you want. This way, it might break out and bounce. So those are some things to consider. There's not one specific way for you to use this indicator, okay? There's multiple ways to use it. And once again, you've got to be really creative. It's not for the average Joe that needs a set of instructions to be told what to do. Do you know what I mean? So there's not really any bullish coins on the 15-minute time frame right now. And I will be spending the majority of my time hunting for coins. But realistically, what I'll do is I'll be looking for coins that are trending on the 15-minute and probably the 2-hour or the 4-hour. Those are going to be the main time frames that I'll focus on. And I'm sure that every single day, there's going to be coins for us to instantly go to and trade. We haven't even, let's just, for fun, take a look at the most volatile coins and see how they're looking. So here, okay, this one here is, it doesn't light up green at all in the trending. Do you see that? It doesn't light up green because it wasn't 12 hours. Maybe I'm setting my parameter too great. Maybe I need to set my parameter to something like an 8-hour, okay? There you go. So an 8-hour might have been a better parameter within a shorter period of time. So now if I look at, for example, perp, okay? I'm just looking at this coin because I want to trade it now. Whoa, this coin's a really good coin to trade. So just as an example, you are now brought to this attention, like to this coin's attention. I would probably recommend using a varied trend period, somewhere between 6-hour to 12-hour. Of course, a 12-hour will be a greater degree trend, but a 6-hour, the shorter periods, will allow you to find faster coins to trade, like perp, for example, okay? So it's been brought to your attention. It's been trending above here. So what you would do now is, because it's brought to your attention, you'd want to find an entry, if that's even possible, right? And in my course, I teach you guys this. It's called an upgrading system of how to enter on a lower time frame and then upgrade to ride it on the higher chandelier exit indicators time frame. Complicated method that I simplified, and it's probably the best way to exit a coin in my opinion, because you're entering it on like a slower time frame, and then you're risking a certain amount of your profit on a higher time frame if you want to risk using a different chandelier exit indicator. For those that have taken my course, you know what it's about. It's an awesome strategy. So now you want to zoom out and be like, okay, well, this is the resistance, okay? And the continuation pattern is easy too. You're looking for a continuation pattern that possibly forms, and then you enter it on the breakout of that high. So right now, there's not really a specific pattern, but this one could be a pattern, okay? This one could be hammering at a resistance. So you might want to consider, right? If it breaks above it, you could enter with a small position there. But what I would recommend is a small position. Let it break out again above this current resistance. Let it form another pattern or a pullback. And then you would enter it on the break of the next one with more. And as it keeps doing that, you would add gradually more to your position. Because trading confirmation patterns or continuation patterns, they're the most profitable way to trade in a bull market. Like, I mean, imagine if you were like a newer trader. Like, let's be real. A lot of newer traders do this. This red line is clearly the resistance, right? It's clearly the resistance. So what they'll do is they'll literally go on the 5-minute time frame or whatever time frame. And the moment that they see it break out, they're going to buy it. You know, they're going to buy it no matter what. Oh, it must be broken out. There's a wick there. It's going to go up. But you don't know if you're going to get bull trapped. So you have to have a system that's going to allow you to trade the continuation with confirmation. Otherwise, you're just going to get bull trapped like how many times? So you must learn how to trade the continuation pattern. Anyways, I'm done today. It's been 46 minutes already. I didn't even know. I can talk about this indicator forever. It's going to help me find a ridiculous amount of trades. Like, for example, on SAY, okay? On SAY, I have specified it before to 7 days, right? 7 days. So on a 4-hour, like, we know that this coin is still trending bullishly on a 7-day period. So I want to have it on my major watch list, okay? That's why my coin I have a major watch list section right now, and SAY is on it because it's trending like that, right? It needs to be updated, but this is just a general idea. So this coin, SAY, brought to my attention, but I'm not going to trade it on a 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame is just indicating to me that this is the time frame that's closest to the bounce, right? I'm going to zoom into a smaller time frame now. So you must understand how to use time frames, right? So now you want to maybe go towards the most current trend, right? Which chandelier exit is holding the best in the most current trend? Not the 15-minute. It breaks up green to red. Maybe the 30-minute. So this 30-minute looks pretty good, but is there a better one? Maybe there's maybe a 2-hour one. I'd say 30 minutes is the best one. So maybe if it gets close to now the 30-minute chandelier exit, it might bounce. Notice every single time it got here, it bounced, right? So when it was trending sideways here, if you saw it on this indicator, you might have risked a little bit. Right? And then you would exit it when it falls below maybe the 30-minute time frame. That's how you would trade this. Or you could have entered it every time it got close again, close again, close again, close again. And then you would exit it on when it breaks red. So this is a phenomenal way to trade. I truly believe that using the ATR, the average true range, which measures volatility, it is the most important way to trade. That is my conclusion after 9 years of day trading and making millions in the market from day trading. I truly believe this is the only way that you really can trade combined with price action. Like EMA, useful, but man, does that ever lag. RSI, MACD, the only thing it's good for is letting you know it's oversold or overbought, or bearishly diverging or bullishly diverging. Other than that, if you got a parabolic coin like Sol, have you guys noticed I didn't talk about RSI once? Like for these altcoins, if you got a coin like Sol, RSI is gonna tell you shit other than it's in the high regions. Like you won't be able to use MACD or anything for that. Do you know what I mean? EMA is not gonna help much either. I mean, if you take a look at EMA for how much it stretches, do you think the 50 EMA is gonna help you? Like, you know what I mean? Even if I got the closest EMA to the price line, like it's not gonna help you. Look, it's like how many percentages away from the EMA? Like 20%. That's not gonna help you for shit. The 200 EMA is not gonna help you either for anything other than identifying trends for long term. Elliott wave will definitely help you if you can count it, but only if you can count the waves. But if you can't, then it's useless. So don't spend time trying to do these complicated counts. You have to look at a coin and be like, yep, this is 5 counts. What was that coin, guys, that I traded for that ending diagonal? Where I made a shit ton on it a few days ago. No, before my move. It was like the perfect 5th wave diagonal. Hold on. I'm looking at it. No, it was in November. Yeah, I think it was in November. Yeah, this one here. Where we were looking at like the perfect wave to short. And it came in, right? So it's only useful if you can actually count the waves. If you can't, fuck it. Fuck Elliott wave. You know, it's not even worth using. So ATR, man, I'm telling you, you got to know how to gravitate towards the most volatile coin, how it's trending, and the range that it's trending. Because those are the coins that you need to trade in a bull market. You don't want to... I know some people that are like, I'm only going to trade this coin. That's it. Like, only this coin. I'll never touch anything else. Like, I'm only going to trade Bitcoin only, for example. It's like, okay, but you're going to be missing out on like 250 other possibilities, you know? I understand if they want to choose that route, it's up to them, but they're going to be missing out on a lot of things, right? So I'd rather develop a method to go to whatever coin that's the most volatile coin to trade and the best one. Fibonacci is great too. Like, I don't use Fib for anything, honestly. Like, extensions I use, but the only thing I use Fibonacci retracement for is just literally to see how much it fell back down. That's it. But I don't count on it. I don't count on be like, yep, it's getting here. It's gonna fucking bounce at this magical golden ratio number right here. You know, like golden ratio is the only important one. But I'm not going to be like, oh, wow, it's getting to a fib number of 236 or a fib number of 382. Like, I don't use that anymore because I'm smart enough to understand that now that the market doesn't give a shit about Fibonacci, okay? Like, it's only a coincidence when it happens. If anybody tries to sell you this dream that, like, it's reaching these magical numbers, it's just bullshit. There's just coincidences. Like, the 618, yeah, maybe. That's the only one that's relevant, in my opinion, that I would care about focusing on if there's a bounce near there or getting near there, okay? But other than that, in a bullish market, you're going to get retracements to like 236. Actually, sometimes you're going to get a retracement to like not even 236, and then the retracement actually like, it fucking channels upwards like that. And then you're so confused about what's going on, and then it just goes upwards like that. Like, it happens excuse me, all the time in a third wave. Is messed up, man. And then I use Binance. I use the most important exchange. I think Binance is good. Yeah. I'm going to end it here. You guys should DM me. Like, DM me if you want to get into my Discord private trading group. I'm taking a holiday till January the 1st. You will get my course, the Emergency Bull Market Survival Guide, that teaches all of my strategies. Trust me, you want it. It's one of the best courses out there, if not the best, and also one of the cheapest courses out there. The course is $199. Discord is normally $50 a month, but I'm going to give you a lifetime membership and the course and the indicator for a special price. Just DM me, guys. Happy holidays. I'll see you later.